Excellent. Right. So thank you everyone for taking the time to join us and hope our voice is coming out okay. So you're able to see the screen sharing from Basu. Let's use the chat session to, okay. Thank you very much. Hello, Prashant. Thank you for joining in. Great. So in this session, so we're going to be looking at how we can build the mobile test automation cases using UiPath, right, in a codeless manner. And of course, UiPath Test Suite is a low-code, no-code platform completely, right? And so today we have Basu with us, and Basu is a test lead and associate test manager in testing experts. And testing experts is one of the premium QA automation organization today, right? So just to introduce Basu to you all, Basu is an accomplished software professional with about 9 years of experience in quality assurance, RPA, and business analytics. He has successfully managed and delivered global projects across manufacturing and healthcare and banking domains. And his experience is so vast in enterprise scale hyperautomation, right? He has used various solutions across RPA and testing and database, etc. So UiPath, he is very well versed with UiPath RPA and UiPath Test Suite, Selenium and Google Cloud, BigQuery, SQL, C Sharp, Postman, Jira, Azure DevOps. And thank you so much, Basu, for being with us today, and look forward to learn from you. So take it away. And again, audience, please use the chat window to keep posting your questions. I'm happy to answer as many as I can during the session is going on. And by the way, my name is Jeevan, so I'm a test suite solution specialist um, representing Asia Pacific Japan region. Right. Happy to answer in the chat, and we'll also use some of the questions to be answered by Basu directly once the session is over. Back to you, Basu. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Jeevan, for this kind introduction. Uh, Also, thanks to everyone who could join in this session. And so, quickly starting with the agenda today. Uh, so, we will be showcasing the mobile test automation process that we normally follow in UiPath. And since UiPath is a low code or no code tool, so basically we are referring to as a codeless mobile test automation. The basic prerequisites for this session would be like the basic prerequisites for this session would be like that everybody has an experience in or at least have heard of the UiPath Test Suite. So just a quick glance over the table of contents. So we'll be going with what is mobile application testing, and then we'll go into some of the processes that we do or the apps that we work on, which is like Android and iOS. So for Android, we will be using a local emulator and showcasing how we can configure our local system and create our own test cases. And for iOS, we will be using a Cloud Farm, a third-party tool with which is the browser stack, along with UiPath MDM, and then execute our code. And at the end, we'll just talk about the challenges that we normally face in mobile test automation, and also how UiPath stands out from other tools that are in the market currently right now, and the benefits of using this. Okay. So a brief introduction on what is mobile test automation. So as we all know, like the with the ongoing mobile applications as well as mobile devices being an integral part of our day-to-day activities, so not only web applications are being tested right now, so mobile applications are also being tested extensively, um, because this is being a very integral part of our day-to-day life. So for every application that we are using, we have to ensure that the end user experiences at almost no glitch, or the app is not faulty and that's what the intention of doing the mobile automation testing. So even before we bring the app for the in the public domain, we should be testing it thoroughly. So we do various kinds of mobile application testing like functional, localization, security, compatibility, usability, uh, performance testing. So all these include all these testings include processes which should ensure that the application is compatible with the device as well as friendly with the user and easy to access. Now, on the right hand side, if you can see that types of mobile app testing image, so this basically refers to some of the areas. So I will just go on with one or two liners. So functional means it's like it aims to verify like every function of the app is working exactly as required. So it involves like testing user flows within the app as well as each of the feature that comprises of this user flow. Uh, then moving on to like localization, it basically depends on the features that are dependent on the geographical location of the app. Speed. So we also need a performance testing for speed as well. So as per the reports in the first quarter of 2021, around 54.8% of the worldwide website traffic was comprised of mobile. So we need to ensure like how fast the application is loading in the mobile devices. We have seen like around 53% of the apps gets abandoned if it takes more than 3 seconds to load. So then we have some other areas of testing like memory leak, usability, performance of devices, networks, recovery capabilities of the application, and definitely security testing. So moving on to the next slide. So this is about the mobile application testing. And so before we even start our application testing with UiPath, we have to ensure that our environment is prepared. So since we are using our local system, all our systems are not being enabled for mobile application testing. So we have to perform some prerequisites for the setting up of the environment in which we can perform the mobile application testing. So first of all, I would like to ensure like I need uh, storage or the application storage. So we need to store the mobile apps on the machine or the system where the APM server is running. Now APM server is basically, as you know, is required to is basically a framework, is an open source framework, and it uses a mobile JSON wire protocol. So this basically drives the native mobile web and hybrid applications of mobile. Why APM? So basically, there are multiple server frameworks available in the market, like Robotium or Frank or MonkeyTalk, but they require additional agent that needs to be compiled with most of the applications code so that the tool can communicate with the app. But what APM does is like it provides a simple user interface and it does not require any external compilation. That's why APM is widely used. Now we need to ensure that our application is in the proper location where the APM server is located, and so we can communicate with the application. Moving on to the settings that we normally require. So initially you would need a Java SDK file. So basically I can refer it to like Java SDK 8 plus, the recommended one, because that is the most stable version of Java. So if I want to like check my Java configuration, so you can go directly to this URL, Java downloads, and you can download your x64 installer for Windows, as you can see, and you can just keep on like you can like make on next and install it on your system. So just to ensure that I have installed my Java correctly, you can go to your command prompt and you can just type out this command Java space version hyphen version, and this should give you what is the Java version that you are using right now. So I'm currently using 1.8.0331. Now, after this JDK and Java is installed, the SDK is installed, we have to go and install the Node.js. So Node.js refers to the uh, Node.js refers to the environment, which is basically you can go to the nodejs.org downloads and you can go for the Windows installer. And once you click on it, it will download the 64-bit installer for yourself. So why do we need Node.js? So Node.js is basically it's an environment where we can actually perform uh, various connections between client and server. So basically, if you want to do some computative or extensive computation performance or environment, you don't need a Node.js because it is already available in the system. For that, you don't need. But if you need to build fast and scalable network applications, like it should be capable of handling large number of simultaneous connections with high throughput, then we should go with the Node.js installer. This basically operates on a single thread and using non-blocking input-output calls, and thus we can do numerous concurrent connections in the event loop. A basic example of like why we use Node.js, a basic use case is like chats. So this helps us in reducing the network traffic, and also it helps us like we can do both input-output calls through a single event loop. Now, once this Node.js has been installed, you can go to your command prompt and you can just check whether the Node.js has been correctly installed or not. And so you type the command node space hyphen v, and this gives you the version that I am using rightly current now is 16.15.1. Okay. So once that is done, we have to go to the command prompt and install the APM server. Now, to install the APM server, it comes with the Node.js. You need the following command, which is the npm install and hyphen g and APM. So hyphen g is basically refers to global. So basically, it will refer to all the global environment variables that are available in your system. So once you, since I have already executed this, I mean, I have already installed APM. I am not going to install it right now, but this is the command that you need to install in your through your command line server. Now, once that is done, you can go to your command prompt and just check whether your APM is installed or not, and you just simply need to type APM, and it should give you the whether the APM is correctly installed or not, and the listener has been started. So since this is a local system, so the port numbers are 0.0.0 and the last port number is 4723. So this is my actual port number through which APM will be interacting with the applications. So once that is done, you need to go to your environment variables within your system, and you need to update few of the system variables within your system. So let me just go to my system variables. Environment variables, sorry, my mistake. So once that is done, you go here and you need to enable that your paths are located properly in this environment variables. So why do we need to set these environment variables? Basically, environment variables are like useful to store uh, system system wide values. So this, suppose we have a variable called path. So this path actually helps us to it basically stores a list of directories to search for executable programs. So these executable programs basically can be kept anywhere in your machine, but this path will actually define from where it can be executed. So you don't need to script it within the code, but you can use it through a variable which is called path. So basically, it helps you to access the current session as well as all child processes that are running in your system. or maybe a specific process that you want to access. So that's why we go and we need to add this. So you can click on new, and you have to give the variable name, like I have given Android underscore home. And this Android home is nothing but actually the path of my Android SDK. So if I go here, you can find this Android SDK, which is in my app data local Android SDK. So I have to give this path after I download Android Studio and all, and then I need to give this path as a environment variable. Uh, Secondly, we also have to ensure like we have given the Java home, or we have set the Java home path, which is the path to the bin. So basically, if you go to this particular path, you can go to the Java bin in my system. Let me just go over there. Yeah. So you can see I have installed JDK 17 here. So I have my Java, and within that Java, the JDK 17 is installed in my system. So just to ensure that when the application actually running, we can get these paths variable, which are like executable programs that we need to run while we perform the mobile application testing. So as you can see, the Android home variable I have initialized. The Java home variable has been initialized, and then we have the path variable. In this path variable, we need to include the ADB devices, or basically Android debug bridge devices. So basically, it's nothing but the. Let me just open it here. Closed it. So if I click on this edit button, you can see there are multiple, these are basically the directories of executable programs. So once you can see here, I have installed, I have already initiated Android home. Now when I need to go to tools and platform tools. So I need to ensure that this path is correctly set up in my environment variables. So for this, let me show you where it will be. So I need to go to the Android home path, which is basically this path. And here you can see like platform tools, and this is the path that you need to give in the environment variables. Okay. So once these basic settings are done, I need to run the APM server. So to run the APM server, I have to run this following command, which is easily available in the in Google, or if you go through APM docs, this command is easily available. So I need to run this APM server. Since I have already started this, so the APM server is already running. So you have to go to the so you have to open the command prompt and just use this highlighted command, CMD command, to ensure that your APM is running. In my case, the APM is running, and so I am not going to start anywhere right now. Okay. So any questions till now? Okay.
Yeah, so no questions so far in the chat window. There were some clarifications in the chat window. I have answered it, Basu. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Let me just close it. Yeah. So moving on to the next slide. Okay. So connection with the Android emulator. So now with the Android emulator, we have to create we have to download the Android Studio, and you have to create some emulator or simulator that you want to go ahead. Mm, so basically, you have to install the Appium Android Studio here in your machine, and just you need to go on the right side. you have the AVD manager here, and you need to install the AVD devices. So basically, you go to your create Android emulators using Android Studio. So once your Android Studio is done, you go and select the Android, sorry, SDK from here, the SDK manager. So you need to ensure like all these capabilities, like whichever Android you are going to, uh, whichever capabilities you want to run, the version and the Android versions, you can select it. And also, once you are done with that, you can like click on OK, and your SDK will be installed. Now, once that is installed, there is one more thing, which is like uncheck hide obsolete packages and make sure the Android SDK tools is checked. So we have to ensure, like if I can maximize my slide, if you can see the Android SDK tools obsolete is unchecked, is checked, and Android SDK tools is, if you see on the top, Android SDK build tools, it is checked. So once that is done, you click on apply and click on close. So once that is done, you need to go to your uh, AVD manager. Let me just go there. Your AVD manager. Let it open. Just give some time. Okay. So it was already open. Sorry, my bad. So here you can do, like you can go and create your new virtual devices that you want to do. So you can create, you can click on like create virtual device. You can select which type of mm, you can select which type of device you want to automate. So in this case, we are going with the phone and tabloid. And on that, if you go on like clicking on next, and you can select the which type of image of the operating system OS that you want to use it. So in this case, I've used Oreo, and click on next. And you can give a name to your APD name, like your virtual device name, and the type of orientation that you want to go, and then you can click on finish. So that will create a Android emulator in your system. So this Android emulator is basically, this is the Android emulator that I had created in my machine. So this emulator is basically a replica of the actual device, and you can use it for our mobile application testing. So there are three ways in which you can perform a mobile application testing. First of all, you can use your real device, and you can install the apps in those, and then you can go forward and connect with your UiPath MDM and APM server, and then run your test cases. Or there can be another way, which is the second way, which is like using simulators or emulators that I showed you right now. This is the one. And the third part is like using cloud third party tools or cloud forms like Browser Stack and Source Labs. So in for Android, I will be showcasing you with the help of this Android uh, with this Android emulator, and for iOS, I will be showcasing you with the Browser Stack. Now, when everything of these settings has been configured in your machine, then you can just check your machine whether your devices has been, you can check in your command prompt whether you have the necessary devices connected or not. So for that, you need to check, you need to provide a command which is adb devices. And once that is, and this gives us the list of the devices that has been attached. Like it says emulator 5554. So this is basically the name of the emulator that has been generated in my machine, and it's connected with the APM server. So if all this looks fine, if you have a real device attached to it, you will get the name of the real device. and all. So once all these settings has been done, then we actually move on to the next slide where we actually start with our mobile device automation. Yeah. So now we will start with our mobile device manager. So this is an integral part of our mobile device mobile automation. So basically, if you open UiPath, you have a mobile testing project template created already for you. So these templates are readily available and you can use it. So once you start on that, a project and a test case will be created with the below dependencies. Few of the dependencies will be automatically added. And I have added few more dependencies just to do some other kinds of activities. Now, for the mobile device manager, you have to go to the on the top of the toolbar, and you have to select the mobile device manager, mobile automation drop down. So you have mobile device manager. So if you click on MDM, this basically opens up the MDM of the mobile device manager, which is with the which is the basically the core of the heart of our mobile automation. So here you can see like there are two uh, two categories. Like one is devices and another is applications. So basically, devices you can easily refer to like which all devices are being connected to the MDM or you want to connect to the MDM, and applications are like the applications on which you want to perform your uh, mobile test automation. So moving on to the slide, you can see here in my slide. So we have to go to MDM and launch it, and we have to also install a dependency which is UiPath mobile automation dot activities. So here I have the mobile UiPath mobile automation activities. So I have to install this dependency from the marketplace or from the packages, manage packages, and you can use the activities that are already involved in UiPath mobile automation activities. So what all activities has UiPath provided for us? So it has provided some logging and debugging activities. It has provided some activities which are easy to use, from like installing your app or opening some URL within the app or managing the current app. Suppose you want to close or do something. From the device level perspective, we have the mobile device connection, geolocation, device orientation, screenshot. So all these basic activities that we normally perform on our phone. And we have the UI automation activities. So this is basically the tools with which we perform activities on the mobile device manager and the application. So you can see like the items or the activities are self-explanatory. Like if you want to type into some item, type into any field, it is a set text. If you want to get the text of any field, you need to use get text. So get selected item, get the attribute of that selector or that element. Now to verify we are checking element exists or not, so verification can also be done. We can do a swipe, we can do a tap. Now taps can be of like left tap, a single tap, double tap, or a hold, or a long tap. I mean a hold. So there are various tap activities, various swipe activities. So all it basically completes or covers all the activities that we perform in our mobile automation testing. So moving on to the slide. So we will be adding one device, and we will be so once that is done, we will be going and adding some device information and some application information in the MDM, and that is covered in the next slide. So let me just go to the next slide. So as you can see, first of all, I need to go and open the MDM, and once that is here, I have to click on this add a device icon, and once you click on that icon, a another window comes up where you need to fill the basic details like name of your device. So you can give any name that you want to configure with the APM URL. So basically, this APM URL is nothing but the URL where your application is stored. The platform version you want to select with Android or iOS, and this device name should be the device name which is practically the emulator name that you have created in your mobile, in your Android studio. And this platform version is like which version of Android or which version of iOS are you going to use for your application. So I have already created a device, so let me just show you. So if you can show you the name Pixel XL API 30. So if I go to my uh, emulator, yeah. So if I go to my emulator, you can see like Pixel XL API 30 is the name which I have used. So I have taken that name only and I have put it in the name section as well as in the device name section. It's better to copy paste that because it might give issues if you don't, if there is any discrepancies. This is the APM URL. So APM URL is basically, this is the local host that I'm using for the APM server. And this is like WebDriver, and this is the hub of the APM server. And for Android, you can go and use uh, the same thing like I have used iPhone 12. So since I have used a cloud browser stack thing, so I will showcase it later. But this is how you need to give the APM URL or the browser stack URL, whichever is, or the source labs URL that you are using it, where your application is hosted. Now, once that is done, you go to the application section. So I have already created an application. I mean, I have uploaded an application. So the process is same. You click on that add application button. You name the application. You name with whether this is a mobile app or a web app. You go to Android or you go to iOS. You fill up the app details or the link or the path of where the application is hosted. Now, app package, app activity are not mandatory, and you need to add some desired capabilities. And these desired capabilities I will show you in some time. So let me show you here. So this is the application, and this application is basically contains the name of the application and basically the path where my APK file is loaded. Since I'm using an Android application right now, so I have to provide the .apk file path where it is loaded, and and nothing else is required as of now. For iOS, it is a little bit different. This basically is the browser stack link that we are using here. And since we are using the browser stack as our third party application, so we'll be giving the URL of from the browser stack level. So I will show you this, and these are the additional capabilities which are like the username and the key that I have used. So this is respective to my account. So for your account, you will be getting, once you create an account and you upload your IPA file, you will get your individual user and key from the stack itself. I will show you the details where you can get it. Okay. So now we are coming to like create and run mobile automation. So this is basically how do we create and run mobile automation. I will show a small demo. Like if I go with, like I have a test case already created, test case underscore Android. And so let me see. Okay, so for the first thing, I need to use the mobile device connection. And if I click on here and go to this property section, if you see, I need to fill up some of the properties here, which will actually help me in making the connection to the mobile device. So in my case, I am using Android right now. So the connections will be like, I'm making it to the Excel API 30 and ADBank Android. So I have selected my settings, and you can see this APM URL, the logging folder path. So all this, some capabilities on the collections. So it has already, it has taken these capabilities on its own. So UiPath is quite intelligent enough to get these connections details, and you don't have to like individually go and edit this. So whatever it is dependent on your system and your environment connection, it will take up automatically. So you just need to do, and you can see my error is already gone. Now, if I go to my MDM, or maybe I can start from here. Let me just run my device. You click on that green icon. You have the device already selected. I need to select the application. Let me try to connect it. So normally it takes around like 15 to 18 seconds to connect if all the connections are working fine. So just give it some time.
Basu, so we are about 40 minutes mark, so we might have to wrap it up in next 12, 13 minutes, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we can still go on until 4 o'clock unless users have any questions. So we would like to give some time for the Q&A. That's the only reason. But yeah, so I think you're going in the right tempo.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay, let me just start my, I think APM server is down. Let me just start it. Yeah. So the command is, yeah, so it started. Let me just run my device once again. I'm sure I'm setting. Just a second. So it is trying to connect to the AirBank Android. There is a way. It's not like just a second, please. APM is on 1001. Let me just change it here in my device manager one. So fine. Okay, I'll try at the end of the day. I don't think so. It's connecting right now. So yeah. So basically, I need to. There is some issues I'm seeing right now. Let me try fixing it at the end of the session. So let me just quickly cover it up.
Uh,
Uh,
If there is a problem, Basu, with the server, Appium server, that's okay, no problem. If you would like to show us the iOS on the cloud device, and we can always provide the Appium server recording as well later. Yeah,
okay.
your
So
wish.
basically, yeah. So basically, we have these various activities already present that as I was showing you. So basically, you need to open up the mobile device manager in your machine, and based on that, like you have your set text activity or a so a set text or a app text activity that you want to perform. You just need to indicate the target, and you just need to indicate it on the target, and once that is done, your and once that is done, you can also like if you start this mobile device manager successfully, so your application will come up, and once it comes up, it will actually help you in indicating the target, and you can also like add it in your object repo as well. So I'm not going on that part as of now, but I can show you the uh, one of the code that we have right now. So basically, this is how we have actually done the coding. So you are basically getting our data from a test data sheet, and based on that, it's like you can indicate your target like username, and you are providing your password here, and based on that, you can like click on or tap on the login button. Like as I was saying, like you have multiple tap or options like single tap, double tap, long tap, and then you can click on other options like make payment and perform the same actions. And at the end of the each of the test case, you need to like verify whether the application is proper or not. So here we are performing some swipe buttons, like we are swipe for save button, we are swiping, and then you can like go as per the feature that you want to showcase, and then you can like uh, verify your test case. So quickly moving on there, let me just see if I can fix it later on. Android emulator I have already covered. This is already covered. So there is also another option like connection with physical device. So this physical device is basically the settings from the MDM is almost same, and you just need to enable your developer options and USB debugging, and that should do the work. And rest of the settings is same as I showed you in the previous instance. Like you just need to go and fill all these details. So moving on to that, I think the Android demo won't run right now because of that connection issue. But yeah, let me see with iOS codeless automation. So for iOS, what we have used a third-party tool, which is a device fund, which is like app-automate-browserstack.com. So if I go here, you have your browser stack already created. I have my account already created. So you need to go to app automate and let it load. Yeah, yeah. So you need to first of all set up your you need to upload your app, which is the iOS app, which basically is the .ipa file. So either you can use a you can upload from your file manager, or you can upload via the REST API, whichever way you have it in your system. And once you add those apps, it's just that you need to scroll down, and as you keep on adding your apps, you can see the necessary URLs coming up here, like the app URL, the capability settings and all. So as I was showing you, you can go in the set capability section on the right hand side, and you can get your browser stack URL. So this URL we have used in our MDM iOS application, if you can see. So this is the one. So you can get it from the browser stack uh, browser stack URL, browser stack application as well. And here you can see I have the capabilities set, which is the user and the key. So this is specific to my account. So in your MDM, if you go here, you need to put this iOS capabilities here, which is the user and the key capabilities. You need to copy it from the browser stack and just paste it here. And that will make your connection with the iOS. Uh, and once that is done, you can connect your iOS with your MDM. You can run your iOS app or the device from your MDM. Let me try running it. So as you can see on the mobile device manager, as the iOS app is also starting, so it got connected, and you can see like I can individually select each of the fields that are available here. And on similarly on the browser stack, as you can see, a test case has already started. Like it is already showing me that okay, it is getting executed right now, or maybe I am doing something, some actions on the app right now along with my MDM. So I can create my test cases with this. I can use these fields to like text field, and this edit icon to like type into my uh, to send some text to the app. So you can see like it already typed company. If I can make it large. Next, I'm selecting the password. As it is done, I am sending a text. So for me it is same. Yeah. So in one thing is to see, if you see iOS has hidden the password from here because it is a secure text field. But you can see a cross button coming up here, so it ensures that the field is typed in, and now we can like do a login to the app. So you can create this kind of activities, and once you log in, you log out. So this is done. Now this is one way of like you can go to your studio, you can open your iOS test case file, you can like select, you can like set text. So if I want to set text, I'm trying to identify it, and once it is identified, so I need to give the string that I want to provide to it, and that should be fine for this particular activity. So this activity will perform the actions that you want to do. Or else what you can perform is like, suppose you add a sequence, and there is an option which is called the import recorded actions. Now, if I go here, you can see few of the actions have been recorded, like a tap, a type into, a tap, a set text, a tap, a tap. So all these activities have been recorded. Now, if I want to get these activities, all these recorded actions, then I just need to go here. You need to create a sequence. You need to go here. I need to just do import recorded actions. And you can see in this new sequence all the activities have been already imported in your script. So basically you don't need any of the code or any of the logic. I mean, you don't need any of the code to write proper, I mean, to write specifically, but you can easily do it in the form of like sequences or flowcharts or decision making statements. So basically it is, if I try to run it from here, let me try run from this activity. So it is now the old connection has been closed and the new connection is being made. And similarly on the browser stack also, so that it is connected, and you can see like it is performed the recording actions, as you can see. So it has typed company, and now it should type in the password, and now it should tap on the login, and now it should tap on the logout. Yeah, so it is done. So I need to close this basically, because in browser stack the execution is still going on. So to end this session in browser stack, I have to close this iOS device or the application in FDM, and then only this execution will stop. So in browser stack, what happens on the right hand side, you will see all the steps that we performed, or the UI path is performing on the right hand side. And once the execution is complete, it will create a video for you to to see or to validate whether it has been executed correctly or not. So if I can scroll down, it is the same video that you saw on MDM, and this is the same which actually UiPath has done. So if you don't have a specific iOS device or a Mac device, then no need to worry. You can come to Browser Stack or Source Labs and perform your operations as you want, and also you can validate. Okay, so this is from the iOS perspective. So these are basically the areas where we have shown from where you can get your device desired capabilities, device name, iOS version, the URL that you want to use in the MDM, and that's what will make the connection with the browser stack or maybe source labs as well. So let me try running one of the scenarios from here. Uh, I have already created few test sets. So let me try running it from here, from the orchestrator level. Sorry, I need to select it. As you can see in the MDM, it is trying to connect to the iOS, and once it is connected, it will try to. So now you can see like there are three test cases available here. As you can see, the first one is already running, and once that is run, I will show you the video, the same video. So this will be a multiple screen video, which is like it will go to multiple screens and try to perform whatever actions it is doing. And on the right hand side, you can see whatever steps it is performing currently right now. Yeah, so this is the one. So it is still running, so let it run. And you can see on the right hand side, all the steps that we are performing is getting recorded here. So you can validate whether your steps are correctly performed or not. Yeah, so this has been already. So okay, the multiple screen has been executed, and it's already a pass. So let us go to the video once and just see one of the recording here. So the recording is available. Let me just see if I can show you. Yeah, the execution in browser stack will look like this. You go here, it is providing some multiple inputs. Let me just fast forward it a bit. So it is filling up some more details within the application. This is in the iOS. So it is almost similar to the Android applications as well. Uh, so since the Appium server gave some issue during the session, so I would definitely share a video later on for the Android. It is selecting multiple options. It's kind of a bank application, so you can understand like it's showing balance and loan and all those stuff. Now it is trying to log out of the application. So this is how it goes. And so we are almost near to the end of our codeless automation. So this is a hyper automate framework that we normally perform in our TX testing experts organization. So basically, this framework is built on top of UiPath Test Suite, where we actually create our scripts in the Studio Pro and publish to the orchestrator and execute it with the help of test robots. On top of that, UiPath has enabled us with various integrations that we can do with CI/CD tools like Jenkins or Azure DevOps. We have our code repository tool, which is GitHub, or you can even use GitLab. We can go with the databases or various database sources like Excel, JSON, DB connections can be made in UiPath Studio, and you can get your test data. I already showed you browser stack connection for iOS and some common utility files that we have built on top as a wrapper on top of this UiPath test suite, which helps us in which helps us in like configuring the framework easily in UiPath test suite. So these basically are library files, exception handling files, and as you know, like it's very easy to make this framework and handle your overall enterprise projects from here. Similarly, on the right hand side, if you can show, if you are aware, it will provide you with HTML reports or email notifications when the execution is complete. So this is all about the framework that we use in our enterprise or mobile application testing. A few of the challenges that we normally face in mobile application is like there are too many devices globally. Uh, the devices are also of the various screen sizes, different types of mobile applications, like not only, I mean, it has native or mobile web or hybrid applications. Then there are like mobile network bandwidth, so mobile network issues. Suppose you are traveling and in a train, and you can see like your network drops, and and some you are into some other network, or your network reconnects back. So, and there are mainly security concerns. So these are the major areas in mobile application testing which you should be aware of. And this is basically a comparison where we find why UiPath is way ahead of other mobile testing tools in the market. So in our test lab, we have decided on some factors for mobile application testing. And as you can see, like on an average, UiPath rates high on reliability. On the security also, like it should ensure that the user data is secure and it's not jeopardized. The reusability, yes, definitely UiPath has options for object repositories, libraries, and that you can reuse it again and again. And also you have options to create your custom libraries. So that basically reduces your work. Uh, the execution time in UiPath is much better than for other test automation tools in mobile application as well as web applications or any kind of applications that you are accessing to Citrix or VM environments. User friendly, yes, definitely it's user friendly. As you saw, like anybody can take up, like starting from a manual tester or a business analyst, or or even a person who is solely developing in UiPath can easily work on this, as you don't need to know or need to understand lot of scripting formats or syntaxes. You just need to understand the framework, and you just need to know the keywords, and that will help you in the automation. Pricing, it is also like very entry level. It basically depends on the developer robots that you are using or the types of robots you are using. Yes, recorder is very much accurate. It almost captures most of the selectors that are necessary, and we don't need to do anything much on the selector side, and so it works perfectly fine even with dynamic websites. Fast and easy, yes, definitely, since it is integratable with your GitHub. You can create your branches, upload your code, and it is and you can definitely give a easy handover. You can give I mean, it is fast, and also like it is intelligent enough to ensure that you don't get into conflicts much, or it can resolve those conflicts if you are doing so. Integration is easy, which is available in other tools. It is not available in all tools which are in the market right now. And as you know, like as I showed you, like it is integratable with device form and cloud forms. So browser stack, source labs are we are extensively using those with UiPath and using the various devices that are available on those cloud forms. So that's why the UiPath is definitely a standout tool from the other automation tools that we are using, both in terms of web, mobile, or app or desktop applications, or even other applications as well. And also, there are many things coming up in the next version of UiPath, as you all know. So that's all brings me to the end of the demo today. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Yeah, Jivan, I'm done.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you, Basu. It was a great session, and thanks everyone for asking so many great questions, and it was really insightful. Hope you find it all useful and beneficial. And so we're gonna post this recording as soon as possible into the same community portal. You'll get an email, and you'll have it access to it. Yeah. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, everyone. See you all in the next webinar. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks all.